Every city has its working man lunch. That's become a part of their identity. New York has its pizza. Chicago has its hot dog. When it comes to Florida, they have the Cuban sandwich, and I'm in Miami to learn more about it. This is What America Eats. I'm heading to meet my friend Grace Della. She runs a company called Miami Culinary Tours. She's going to teach us all about the Cuban sandwich. Grace,
Jon,
how are you? Long time no see.
Nice.
How's things?
Good.
Let's get a coffee.
Okay.
We're sitting at Las Olas Cafe. Tell us a little bit about this place.
I love this place. Locals die for the café cubano and that Cuban sandwich. So this is a classic Cuban, Miami Cuban. So you have that Cuban bread, then you have the roasted pork, the ham, the Swiss cheese, that mustard and pickles.
So you can see that they've sliced it straight down so it goes in the mouth easier rather than the big bite.
So you can tell that this is a great Cuban sandwich because, you know, they press it with la plancha.
Yeah.
And you want that a very thin layer of crispiness outside. So the outer part of the bread gets super crispy, but it's very thin. And then you have, those juices and that melted cheese inside.
The pickle and the mustard, that adds that beautiful piquance, what you're left with. There's a little controversy over which city had the first Cuban sandwich. Was it Miami or was it Tampa? And what's the difference between the two versions?
So, when you look at the stories about the Cuban sandwich, history will tell you that it was invented in Tampa. Oh. So in Miami, you are not going to find salami on a Cuban sandwich. That's the main differentiator between Miami and Tampa.
Where else should I go?
A place that I love, it's called Old Havana, and you find that in Little Havana. You walk in there, it looks like Havana before Castro, okay? Yeah. 1957, the glory days of Havana. That's how it looks like. It's a little bit of a museum in there.
Really?
One thing that they're doing, as opposed to everybody else, is that they import the ham and the cheese from Spain.
I love the idea of the imported Spanish ham and cheese. Where's my next destination?
Wow, you're in Miami, you have to go to a Cuban institution. It doesn't get any better than Versailles for something, for that culture. It's just walking into a very local culture. They have their own bakery, they make their own bread, which is, very admirable nowadays, right?
So they don't buy it from a bakery, they make it in-house?
Exactly. So Versailles brings to the table a simple yet classic cubano that is delightful.
Is there anywhere fun? Like, say for instance a Cuban sandwich with a little bit of difference to it?
Actually, I love what Josh is doing at Josh Deli. Small place, packed with flavor.
Packed with flavor? And
I love the twist that he does. He does a Cuban.
Say again?
A Cuban.
A Cuban?
Jewish Cuban, right?
And I love it.
Yeah. So what he does, he puts special sauce, pastrami, then a slice of bread in the middle, then he puts the pork, then he puts the cheese and pickles. So then you have 3 layers of bread. You have all that meatiness with pastrami, for that incredible bite.
This has been so wonderful. Thank you so much, Grace. I really feel like I've got a good sense on the Cuban sandwich. I've had a wonderful time in Miami. I want to thank Grace Della for teaching me about the Cuban sandwich. Until next time, I'm Jon Ashton. This is What America Eats.